they're having a hearing in the House, and Henry Waxman is going to ask about the Koch brothers in relation to Keystone. What happens next is funny, but let me show you the background here.
This committee has an obligation to understand who benefits from this legislation. Last year, news organizations reported that one company, Koch Industries, would be one of the big winners if this pipeline were constructed. We asked Koch whether this was true, and were told they have no interest whatsoever in the pipeline. But then we learned that they told the Canadian government that they have a direct and substantial interest. Something does not add up. To understand this situation better, Mr. Rush and I requested we invite the Koch brothers or the Koch Industries to come here and testify. The chairman hasn't even responded to our letter. We therefore, Mr. Chairman, are invoking the minority's rights under Rule 11 of the House rules to have a minority days of hearing. It's important we hear from the Koch and other stakeholders.
You know, two interesting things come out of that. And number one, he's saying, look, they obviously have a huge interest in this. They're going to make a lot of money. So we want to hear from them. We're not saying they did anything wrong. We just want to hear what's your interest in this, right? And there's conflicting reports, so they want to sort it out. That makes perfect sense. Number two is get a load of the Koch brothers. They get a letter from the House. Imagine you get a letter from the House that you must come testify or whatever. You're like, yeah, whatever. They crumple it up and throw it in the garbage.
Yeah,
they don't even respond.
That's when you know you have billions of dollars and more power than the government. But, you know, I know that the Koch brothers love to fund these scientific studies to prove that drilling isn't harmful to the environment. When it comes to the Keystone XL pipeline, do you know whether or not the Koch brothers funded any studies that would support, you know, basically constructing it?
No, we don't know that. That's part of the reason that they probably need to do the investigation. But I do know that one of the guys who was building the pipeline said, this is really dangerous. There's spills all the time. Yeah. We should make it more sound. And of course, the people building the pipeline were like, anyway, you're fired. Okay, so that's how they roll, right? That's why you need investigations. So, but it turns out the Koch brothers were right. They bought enough Republicans that they don't need to respond to any stinking letters from the House. Look at now, Congressman Ed Whitfield, who's a Republican, of course, jumped to their defense.
I think this pipeline is a bad idea. It ignores the concerns of the
gentleman's time has expired. I would also tell the gentleman we will certainly accept the letter and we will follow the rules, but we are not going to be subpoenaing the Koch brothers, and we're not asking the Koch brothers to appear because the brothers have nothing to do with this project.
Well, how does
at this time, I would like to.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. You've made a statement where you were not recognized for the time. You cut me out in the middle of a sentence. I'd like to know the substantiation for your.
Your time was up, Mr. Waxman. Now we're going to recess this hearing for 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back.
Are you calling the Koch brothers during the recess?
Oh!
Let me tell you something. If you want to talk about that, let's talk about the millions of dollars that the Obama administration gave companies like Solyndra to people like George Tucker, who was out there bundling money for the president.
Chairman.
Would you like for us to subpoena him too?
Why are you interrupting members and then you take unlimited time for yourself?
I'm responding to your questions, your allegations. I'm the chairman, and I'm telling you right now we're going to recess for 10 minutes.
Solyndra, you give Republicans an inch, they'll take a mile. Like, they will not let the Solyndra thing go. In the grand scope of things, Solyndra was nothing compared to what the Republicans have done. The tremendous amount of waste the government is guilty of because of the Republicans.
All right, now let me give some facts behind that. All of the renewable energy subsidies combined, including Solyndra, is $6 billion a year. Oil subsidies are $41 billion a year, oil and gas. $41 billion, much larger. But when you mention the Koch brothers, Whitfield's like, careful, no, you just don't talk about the Koch brothers. They have nothing to do with this. But he just said that they said they're profiting from they told the Canadian government they're profiting from the pipeline. They got nothing to do with it. Recess. They said, but wait, you didn't even follow the rules right. You're supposed to go in a certain way, and there's a way that you can respond. He's like, what do you mean? Here's my response. I love the Waxman saying, "What are you going to do in the 10-minute recess? Call the Koch brothers?"
That was good. That was good. I liked it.
That was a nice elbow from the sky.